So today we're going to learn about operations on functions. For this problem, we're going to use x squared plus 3x minus 4 for f of x and 3x minus 2 for g of x. Part A wants us to do f plus g of x. Now, this is just another way of saying that you're going to do f of x plus g of x. So we're adding the two functions together. So for f of x, I'm going to plug in x squared plus 3x minus 4. Plus, and then for g of x, we're going to plug in the 3x minus 2. And now, since this is an addition problem, the parentheses really don't matter, so we can remove them. And then we would combine like terms. So I would have x squared. If I combine 3x and 3x, I get 6x. And if I combine the negative 4 and the negative 2, I get negative 6. For g minus f of x, you can rewrite it as g of x minus f of x. And then you would plug in. So g of x from the top is 3x minus 2. And f of x was x squared plus 3x minus 4. Here, the parentheses, the first one can be removed. But since this has a minus, we know that the signs are going to change. So this becomes negative x squared. This becomes negative 3x. And this becomes positive 4. Now we can combine like terms. I always start with the highest exponent. So negative x squared goes first. Then we can combine the 3x and the negative 3x. 3 minus 3 is 0, so those cancel. And then negative 2 and positive 4 is positive 2. For C, we're doing f times g of x, so that little dot means times. In other words, we're multiplying f of x and g of x together. So for f of x, we had x squared plus 3x minus 4. For g of x, we were using 3x minus 2. So here, we're going to have to distribute. So I'm going to start with x squared times 3x. That will be 3x to the third power. Then x squared times negative 2 is negative 2x squared. Now I'm going to distribute the 3x. So 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x times negative 2 is negative 6x. And now we have to distribute the negative 4. So negative 4 times 3x is negative 12x. And negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. From there, we combine like terms. So this is the only cubed. So it stays 3x cubed. For the x squared, I have negative 2x squared and positive 9. That'll give me positive 7x squared. Then negative 6x and negative 12x is negative 18x. And the plus 8 stays the same. This last example is using a number instead. So g minus f of negative 2 can be written as g of negative 2 minus f of negative 2. I usually like to solve for g of negative 2, f of negative 2 separately, then subtract them. So we knew from the top that g of x was 3x minus 2, and f of x was x squared plus 3x minus 4. So what I'm going to do, since I already know that I'm going to use negative 2, I'm going to plug them into x and see what I get for each function. So if I plug in negative 2 here, I get negative 8. And if I plug in negative 2 here, and I work it out, I get negative 6. So g of negative 2 is equal to negative 8. And f of negative 2 is equal to negative 6. So now I can plug those in for my answer. So for g of negative 2, we got negative 8 and minus. And for f of negative 2, we got negative 6. So now we work this out. This changes to plus. Negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. So that would be our answer for g minus f of negative 2.